Hello everyone, welcome to the Maple Table. My name's Nathaniel. Today, we're going to talk about the Witchwarper. Welcome to the Maple Table. My name's Nathaniel. If role-playing games are something that you're into, hit that subscribe button, hit that like button. It really does help this channel grow, and you will get more content around the things that you already like. The Witchwarper is a class that bends reality to its will. It actually pulls from different existing realities into our own reality, or being in Starfinder, into your character's reality. Today I wanted to cover a little bit around the Witchwarper and some of the base skills, and maybe some starting feats or spells that you might want to look at if you're planning on building a Witchwarper yourself. Keep in mind that these are just my opinions and just my thoughts, and I am by no means the end-all be-all of building a class. You should be always building for the concept that you have in your mind, and don't let anybody else tell you how to play your character. So with that in mind, I'm going to tell you how to play a Witchwarper. First things first, you're going to need to do is pick a race. Any race will do. There is many to go through from the core rulebook, Alien Archives 1, 2, and 3, because there is 3 of those at the time of this recording. What I would suggest is any race that gives some bonus to Charisma, because Charisma is going to be your key ability score. So any race that gives a bonus to that is going to be just fine. Your Witchwarper is most likely going to be the face of the group as well. So be prepared to be a bit of a talky character, considering Charisma is your main piece. As far as picking a theme goes, you're going to probably want to have Dexterity as your secondary stat. So anything that really gives a bonus to Dexterity would be a good option for a theme. From the core rulebook, you're going to be looking at things like Ace Pilot, or perhaps the Outlaw might be a good option for you there, because those are going to give you a bonus to Dex. From the Character Operations Manual, maybe something along the lines of Guard. You could do Noble Scion. That would be another bonus to your Charisma, so that's going to really help your spellcasting out, but it's not going to give you any extras to your Dexterity. Or you could use Street Rat from the Character Operations Manual, and that one would be alright as well. As far as picking skills, that one's going to be a little bit more challenging because it really depends on the type of character you want to play. I would suggest definitely taking some skills in Mysticism, although Wisdom is not going to be your main score. It is going to really help out with some of the checks when it comes to spell casting or knowing what spells are being cast against you. Past that, it really is how you want to play the character. Being that it is a face type character, a more socially engaged character than it is a melee combat character, for example, potentially in Diplomacy or Bluff. Intimidate would definitely be a good skill for a Witchwarper, considering that that's also going to be that's going to be one of their main attributes. So I don't really have too much to offer past that, other than pick the skills that are going to fit with the concept that you want to play. Just maybe tailor some of your expectations or some of the skills to what you're actually going to be using. Assuming a low intelligence score, you're going to not have a ton of ranks to put in different skills, so make your selections carefully. Now, as far as spells go for your Witchwarper, you're going to get 4 level 0 spells and 2 level 1 spells right off the hop. Now, your Charisma modifier is only going to increase the amount of spells that you can cast per day. It does not increase the amount of spells that you know. I made that mistake earlier when I was doing a Mystic, and yeah, don't do it. So, what I might suggest for some level 0 spells, you're definitely going to want to take a damage dealing spell just so that you have something as a backup. Hazard from the Character Operations Manual is a great damage dealing spell for level 0. If you want to have something that's more on the healing side, it's not a powerful healing spell, but it will do something. Mending would be a good one, and that's 1d4 of healing. And as on Hazard, that's a 1d3 of acid, cold, electricity, fire, or sonic damage. Hazard will deal a 1d3 of acid, cold, electricity, fire, or sonic in a 5-foot radius. So not a bad spell. You get to pick what type of damage it does when you cast it. From here, we can go with a couple of other options, and Fatigued might be a good spell that you could use. Daze might also be a good choice to take while you're at this level, taking Charming Veneer might actually be a good option for you. When it comes to your level 1 spells, there's a few options that we could go with. The first one that kind of jumps off the pages to me would be Jolting Surge. Now this does 4d6 of damage, but you have to touch the target, so that could be a bit of a tricky one. But it is the more stronger damage dealing spells that you could take at level 1. The second option that you could look at taking would be Overheat. Now that's 2d8 damage done in a cone, which might actually be a little better if you have enemies who are carrying a lot of weapons. For some more supporting type spells that you could take at level 1, you could do Wisp Ally. That would be a great spell to have for providing some support to other teammates who are better at shooting things than you are, or hitting things. On the roleplay perspective, you might look at taking Charmed Person, as this could help potentially, actually even in a combat, but it could also help with some social encounters that you come across. If you're looking for something a little more on the fun side, you might want to take Summon Creature. That one you can find in the first Alien Archive, and that could provide a little bit of a fun summon spell. To have a little minion to go do your bidding, that could be a lot of fun. As far as starting feats go, the only one that I can really think of that is going to be a must for this, because your Witchwarper character is not going to be a front lines fighter, and you want them to be able to do damage from long range, but you also need potentially some ability to be your spells that do damage when you get close. The only feat that I can see making sense right off the get-go would be a long arms proficiency from level 1 and anything else from there, but that's just me. You could take spell penetration, but that's really only going to come useful in some of the higher levels. Being that you're going to be a charisma-based caster, you might look at taking some of the feat Minor Psychic Power. Minor Psychic Power is going to give you 1 extra 0-level spell to cast 3 times per day, so that could be useful. It continues on to first level spells and second level spells, so that you can have extra casts of those every day as well. So this would definitely not hurt. The other chain of feats that you could look at, which would be in the character operations manual, would be the Eldritch Lore chain. And these are also going to give you more known spells per day. They do not increase your cast, the amount of times you can cast, but they do increase what you know. And these will go all the way up to 4th level spells. Something to think about. And one other thing that you could potentially look at if you don't want to go with one of the long arm proficiencies or something that gives you an ability to attack from a distance would be Lightning Reflexes. And hopefully you just get to go first in combat to make up the shortfall. That would be what I would suggest for starting out. As you feel out the character and you start gaining your levels, start to pick feats that will fit to how they are going to progress. It's not the game is not about power building. It's about building characters that are well fleshed out. At least that's what we promote on this channel. Well, this has been a Maple Table look at the Witchwarper. I hope you've enjoyed my take on the class, and let me know about maybe some of the starting builds that you've done for the Witchwarper in the comments below and what you like about it. If you enjoyed today's video, I'll remind you to hit that subscribe button, hit that like button, as it really does help the channel out. If you share this with some of your friends, it really does get my channel promoted and get my content out there, so I would really appreciate that. As always, thanks for stopping by, everyone.